This is Dave's Had Enough 187. This is a video to do with, I never knew being honest was trolling. And another video from Dave. And yeah, pretty much as a video I've been wanting to make. I talked a little bit about it in the podcast because something was brought up. Somebody brought a video to my attention, a podcast, and I guess I was mentioned in it. They were talking about me, mainly about me, Real Gamer, whoever Old Man Jenkins is. I'm assuming that's Shokio. I could be wrong. I don't know. I didn't listen to much of the podcast, but what they said about me, you know, I could not bear to listen to what this guy has to ever say again. I used to follow him when I first came on YouTube and his podcast for a little while. You know, when I first came on YouTube, I will admit, you know, I saw some of these Nintendo dudes and the shit that they say in these videos, and I would write long comments thinking that I'm gonna, you know, maybe get through to them. And then I learned that I was just fucking hitting a brick wall. You know, it was not gonna happen. And of course, a lot of them blocked me and all that stuff. They were all, you know, they get upset. But I didn't, like, you know, go at them, insulting them or anything like that. I was just talking to them about my opinions on Nintendo. And just because I wasn't on their, you know, level, you know, or thinking how they think with Nintendo, I was obviously, you know, full of shit, or, you know, obviously now you're trolling if you're being honest, like I'm making in this video, and, you know, they just don't want to hear what you have to say. If you're not kissing Iwata's ass, you know, what you say means nothing. So he blocked me. Me and Peter 5747. And I can get him on the podcast if he wants. You know, if he said he's leaving YouTube, I'm sure I can get him on for a little bit to confirm this. What went on that day when he blocked me. And this was a long time ago. This is when I first came on YouTube. Not a real long time ago. About 2 years ago. Over 2 years. So, I haven't, you know, talked about this dude in a video or nothing, but I see why he mentioned me. It's not like he just brought it up. One of his subscribers, I guess in the live chat, when I listened to the video, because I listened to it at one point when he was talking about me, and I, you know, rewound it, and then I listened to that part where it first started, and I guess one of his subscribers asked, you know, they were all upset with me and the Real Gamer, and they unsubbed from me, and, you know, they were asking him, what does he think about him and his buddy, the guy in the hood, the fucking creeper that collects amiibos. He was asking them, like, what they thought of me and the Real Gamer, and blah, 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 and our tough love, or whatever, for Nintendo. So then they went on talking about me, you know, that I'm obviously trolling, you know, I have to be a troll because, you know, what I'm saying, you know, has to be trolling. And this brings me to this video, and I was going to make this video anyway, even before I seen this, because I'm being told a lot lately from a lot of these Wii U weirdos that I am trolling when I'm telling you my honest opinion, you know. Now, I said in my video when I got rid of the Wii U, or the one with Mr. T, or whatever, I can't remember which one, that, you know, I came out and told you guys I like to get a rise out of you. But I get a rise out of you with how I'm feeling. You know, I give you my honest opinion, and it gets a rise out of you. And yeah, there's some times when I actually, you know, egg it on and keep it going and get you guys really wound up. But a lot of my videos, like the Wii U and the waiting game, some of the recent ones I did that really pissed you guys off, that was just me just turning on the camera and going. I wasn't, you know, I was actually telling you how I feel. And I guess my honest opinion pisses you guys off about Nintendo. And I see it with a lot of other people. I noticed that people have turned on Shokio. You know, he used to be your fucking almighty leader, you know, your god. And now you guys call him Old Man Jenkins for some reason. You know, and say he came out of the woodwork. One thing about Shokio, I like his content. And I've always watched his channel. I just don't get to see everybody like I used to. I haven't watched his videos in a little while now. I saw his Nintendo direct review. That was the last one I got to see, the two-part he did on that, part 1 and part 2. But I have to give it to him. The guy has a good channel. He speaks his mind, and now that he actually sees things different, you guys turned on him like fucking rabid dogs. It's fucking horrible. And when somebody don't agree with what, you know, on whatever you have to agree with on Nintendo, of your thoughts of Nintendo, you guys automatically just, you know, lash out at them and say they're trolling and they're doing it for views. Like, I was watching the video where you're, you know, talking shit about me. If you're watching this video, KFD, and Tony, I believe it is, you guys were saying that, you know, Shokio does this for views, and he's getting on the Nintendo, you know, whatever, hating on Nintendo, joining the club, and whatever you said. Not like that, but you said, in other words, you said he's getting on the whole hate thing with Nintendo. And a lot of you guys are turning this whole thing like people are just hating on Nintendo. Like, KFD, I actually watched one of your videos before that, because I haven't watched your channel in a long time, and in your Splatoon damage control video, you were saying that you're 22. So, to me, that explains a lot. So, you don't understand what it was like in the NES generation and the Super Nintendo generation. If you were in the Super Nintendo generation, if my memory serves me correct, I don't know, I can't calculate the years and everything right off the bat, but you were probably just a little, you know, little kid, you know, you didn't understand what was going on. You might have been 3-4 years old, you know. So, for me, you know, for me, it's easy to understand why you guys are the way you are. I don't know how old Tony is, your buddy Tony, but, if you start out in the N64 or GameCube generation, you'd be happy with this shit, you know. I understand that. It makes perfect sense. You'd be okay with what Nintendo's doing, because you sure as hell wouldn't be okay with it if you started out in the NES generation like I did, or the Super Nintendo, Sega Genesis era when that went on. You wouldn't be saying this shit, you know. That's what's wrong with a lot of you Nintendo guys, Wii U Weirdos. You guys started out in the N64, which was a great generation, don't get me wrong, favorite console of all time, the N64, but that was kind of when Nintendo started going downhill, you know. They were on top and went down real fast. And the GameCubes were, for me, where it went really wrong, and I thought, you know, the Wii was just bullshit. But the Wii U, I thought they changed things. I thought it was the new Super Nintendo, and we all know how that went. But you guys, if you started out in this generation and you liked Nintendo, like I'm saying, you started out in the N64 GameCube generation, you know, when shit started really getting bad, you may like this shit, you know, because obviously you start out then. But like I said, if you start out in the NES, Super Nintendo generation, you wouldn't like what's going on, like me and Real Gamer and a lot of other people here on YouTube. I mean, it isn't that you're trolling just because you have an honest opinion, you know. I don't understand how that's trolling. I could see trolling if I go on somebody's video and I'm cursing at them, or you know, making fun of them, or you know, maybe going on a video just to honestly hate on something. Like if I honestly, you know, hate Nintendo and I'm just going around and hating, you know, different Nintendo channels, but I don't hate Nintendo. I grew up with Nintendo. I just don't like their business practices anymore. And whenever I would give you guys an opinion, it's automatically trolling. And then that time you blocked me and Peter5747. And I was just telling you my honest opinion then, you know. But I guess the honesty is trolling nowadays. But I thought it was funny in your video when you're talking about me and the whole tough love for Nintendo. I like to say it's like tough love, but it's just me tired of Nintendo, you know. I'm just sick of watching what they're doing as a company from what they were, you know. And I would like to see them change. You know, at times when I had the Wii U and they made certain games that I did like Zombie U when it came out, and I enjoyed Pikmin 3, believe it or not, you know, I was okay with them. But then they do stupid shit like you wait forever for a game, you know. If you didn't like this game that was coming out, you had 8 months to wait for the next one, you know. And if you didn't like that one, you had a longer wait. You know, that shit I didn't care for. But I thought it was funny you guys just insulted me in the video. You said Real Gamer's a follower just because he's making videos kind of like he's in the same, like he agrees with what I say and he's on the same, you know, level of where I'm at with Nintendo. And I don't see how he's following me. He just has his own opinion, which in this case we have opinions that kind of are alike, you know. He feels the same way about Nintendo. I feel a little worse about Nintendo and the Wii U, but you know, he still has the console and he still supports it, but he's just not happy with it, you know. You pretty much too, the guy Tony, you guys were going off on how I talk and stuff. KFD, you could barely even fucking read in your videos when you read things. I seen you say like Repec, It's respect. You can't even pronounce words. That's the bad thing. And you're making fun of me, how I talk. That's what killed me. I mean, let's just be real here. You can barely read. You don't even know how to pronounce words. And when you used to get on camera, I mean, it looked like you were sweating pretty bad, profusely, you know. I would take your internet bill and save us all, you know, the trouble of listening to your bullshit about, you know, defending Nintendo, and maybe get yourself some AC for the month, you know. Just saying. But yeah, this video is not mainly about them. It's just they mentioned the whole trolling thing and how you're trolling when you have an honest opinion. And I just want to address that. Do you guys think because you're being honest now on YouTube, like if somebody like, say NextGen720 is being honest on how he feels about the Xbox One, he is automatically trolling? Or when he just talks about the Wii U and how he was unhappy with his purchase, is he trolling? Or when Block Bond goes on about, you know, Nintendo and talks about things he would like to see get better with the company, and then he points out things that are wrong with the company, he's obviously trolling, you know. Or Shokio, when he's upset with something with Nintendo, he's obviously trolling, you know. I don't have many subscribers, you know. These guys I just mentioned do. So what they say usually, you know, matters sometimes, actually gets out more, you know. My channel, it's just a little channel, but the funny thing I think about you guys, you know, you guys been doing YouTube pretty long, you know, a lot longer than I have. And I'm almost caught up to where you're at, KFD. On your, you're ahead of me of subscribers, but not by much, you know. And your view count really isn't much more than I get, you know. And then when I looked at your buddy Tony, you know, the fucking child molester with the hood on in the videos, or in your podcast picture, and, you know, he collects amiibos, a little creepy. His view count is really low for having, you know, 1,004 subs. I think somebody did something wrong there. You know, somebody said one time, I think it was Next Gen, your audio isn't matching your visuals, or your, I mean, it just, something's not right there. You know, it's just not, it's not correct. You know, because when I was looking at your channel, man, you got 1,004 subs, and you're getting like 69 views a video, 43. I mean, that's kind of low. I get more than that. Is it you guys are just mad because I get more views than you? Not KFD. I'm just talking about you in general. My bad. I meant to say you, Tony. Is that why you're so... KFD didn't go on too much about me. You had a little bit more to say. And is it just mad that, you know, your channel has been, you know, I don't know how long you've been doing it, but I'm sure if you've been in these podcasts with the other ding-dong from third world country, I'm sure you guys have been doing this a lot longer than I have, you know, getting on here and defending Nintendo and kissing Iwata's ass. Is it because you're not where I'm at, Tony? Is that why you're so upset? You know, talking about how I speak? How could you guys say how anybody speaks when your partner right there can barely fucking even say the word respect? Repec. I was like, what the fuck is this? You know, he can't pronounce words. It's like he's learning English or something, you know? But that's my video. This isn't considered a drama video. You know, some people may consider it a drama video. I told you guys I wouldn't do that. It's mainly about, you know, the whole thing with how people say when you're, you know, you're trolling, when you're just fucking honest, you know. I may have been, you know, doing a little bit of drama in this video, but I don't get that. You know, you're trolling nowadays when you're honest. Tell me in the comment section what you think. Are you, when you're being honest now, is that considered trolling in this YouTube gaming community? The crumb side? Is that, in the other communities, is that considered the same thing? Or is it just the crumb side? Just saying. More videos to come. Thank you, YouTube.